Groove of War is hosting a 3-game tournament, Take Your Turn, that includes Wargroove, chess, and Go. If you're not familiar with Go, here's a quick primer so you can follow along with the tournament. Go is a 2-person game. One player plays the black stones, the other plays white. Black always makes the first move of the game. You play at the intersections on a 19 by 19 board, and each stone has the same inherent value, and it changes based on the board it's played on. A player can pass, choose not to play a stone, on any of their turns. When 2 consecutive passes have happened, so both players have passed, then the game is considered finished. At that point, points are scored based on territory and captures. Territory is simply the number of intersections inside a group of your stones that both players agree cannot be captured, and diagonals do count. In this example, there are 3 intersections, so 3 points for black. Capturing is when one player completely surrounds the other, and those stones are then removed from the board and added to those players' points. This includes space around an enemy group and inside. So in this example, those 3 territory points are also referred to as 2 eyes, or 2 separate spaces, and in order for white to capture, those 2 eyes would have to be filled in by either player so that there's no space between the white and black stones. White could play here, since that wouldn't result in an immediate capture or a suicide move, but then black could simply surround the stones again. Now, capturing takes precedence over a suicide move, so in our example to the right, white can play in these 4 black stones, because in so doing, white captures this stone, and the end result is not a suicide. So for that to work in our original example, though, white would need to play 2 moves simultaneously, which is impossible, which is why these stones can't be captured. Then down here, white can capture these 2 black stones. Black has what we call 1 liberty, a term for the number of adjacent open spaces. So there's 1 liberty right below, and with only 1 liberty, if we make it white's turn, white can close it off and take the stones for themselves. 2 other really quick points. There is a rule in this game that states the board cannot be in the same state for 2 plays, and that's important because it prevents endless back and forth capture battles, or as we call them, endless co-fights. In this example over here, without that rule in place, white could simply take that stone and then black would go back and take it again, and then white would take it again, and it would result in an endless back and forth. So with the rule, when white takes the stone, black has to place somewhere else before trying to recapture, and that's what we call co-threats, moves that are threatening enough to the other player that they feel forced to respond, allowing you to then try and recapture and keep that co-fight going. Lastly, you may hear about Komi, which is just a static number up in the top right here on OGS. It's a static number of extra points for white to compensate for black playing first. It's a very quick overview of the game. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments, and I hope you enjoy the games.